Cricbuzz Chatter at the end of day 4 of this final of the World Test Championship. First of all, that we are in day 4 on a good surface, that is itself something to celebrate. But let's get straight in, man. 280 to get. I think India have actually done pretty well today. I thought day 3 was shared, day 4 was shared. India still carrying the burden of that first day.
Very true. When I spoke to Vikram Rathore today, and he himself felt that they could have been in so much better place if that first day they had bowled a bit better, and that just sums up the Test match for you. Just one day where things didn't go exactly according to plan. They didn't bowl really well, and they're facing the pressure of it on day 4 as well, leading into day 5.
Look, 444 is a lot of runs to get, but I was so impressed with the way Rohit Sharma batted, and that sweep. We're going to talk about it for a long time. Maybe he thought he's in control. DK has been telling us all along when the batter is positive, he sees a shot sometimes and gets carried away into that shot. But how good was Rohit Sharma looking with that new ball?
$1 million, isn't it? I
Yes.
think he wanted the score. He wanted to do something special. He was determined. He was batting really well. No chance the whole time he batted. Very good approach to fast bowling. I think he'll regret that shot. Every sportsman life, there'll be a few moments when they look back and be like, hey, you know what, that was bad. And I think when he looks back at this, it will be one of those moments. If he had gotten out early, that's different. But this one, 43, when he was probably seeing the ball so well, batting as well as he has, and he's got a good test record over a period of time, opening the inning. I just feel for him because I can feel the pain with him, but there is no doubt that he will regret that shot.
For a long time. It's such beautiful batting conditions. London has suddenly become beautiful. We're just getting the evening breeze coming in, but otherwise fantastic conditions. Now, one other person. You normally look at Pujara and you think, right, Pujara is going to be there. You have to move him. Pujara doesn't move, you have to move him. Pujara did something Pujara doesn't. Is it again that positive approach? Because Pujara was looking for shots. Is it that positive approach that he thought there's a boundary there?
The more I think about that shot, you got to understand the last 3 months he's been in England preparing for this Test match. That's why he chose to go and play in Sussex. Got runs there, prepared himself, got ready, and I think he'll be getting a call from his dad today saying, "Are you happy with that shot, son?"
Yes, Pujara and his father is a story that requires many volumes putting together. His father is a complete cricket lover. But what that led to was a partnership between two batters playing as well as you've ever seen them play. Ajinkya Rahane is 89 in the first innings. When the conditions I thought for batting early on were a little more difficult, he has looked in command. But should we say, I mean, everyone will say you're jinxing it, jinxing it, jinxing it. Virat Kohli is looking as good as I've seen him.
Asha, it is your job to say it as you call it, and it is right when you say he batted so well because he did beautifully. When you look at how he approached the inning right from the outset, the kind of shots that he played, his head was over the ball, and I think he's made that slight tactical adjustment in his mind where he's not going at the ball, allowing the ball to come much closer to him. Ajinkya Rahane did that in the first innings. We saw those impact points where he's played the ball, and Virat Kohli, I think, must have definitely, all these great players, they go back when they do something wrong, go and think about it. Yes, he would know that there was a ball that was unplayable in the first innings, but he would have said, what can I do better? Could I have done something better? And that would mean that he is precise whether he's front foot or back foot, and that's what he's done this innings. He has looked $1 million. If we are all smiling today and subconsciously feel something special, something, one ICC trophy, and that's because of that man, King Kohli, because we all deep down believe, when everybody doesn't believe, this man has something special about him, and he's got an able foot soldier with him who's batted really well as well, and over a period of time both have forged good partnerships. So have to say he's left that glimmer of hope in all us Indians.
It's just enticing, isn't it? Enticing. I'm there still. I am there still. And you start to think, we all thought 375 was going to be a very difficult target to chase. It's that last partnership between Carey and Stark that just took the game a little further away, and now it means 280, but just a little bit more on Kohli. I'll tell you what I liked about it. There was one over, he played a flick of the hips that Kohli plays so well of Stark, And then Stark pitched it up a little bit, and then that drive came. That drive. See, he also we're both watching it with the same eyes. Virat Kohli is looking $1 million. Actually, a million is not a lot for Virat. Whatever is by
Right,
Virat
millions,
standards.
trillion, whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah, he just put a smile on every Indian
Yeah.
fan's heart and a little bit of hope as well. He's just, it's just like a little dosage saying, you know what, be ready for something special. And I genuinely hope he crosses that line. He deserves it. It's at the start of an inning. He's got to start afresh. And India literally need a session without a wicket for them to start thinking of
Yes.
something special. That's when something can happen. The good thing is no matter what happens, 90 overs is bowled, unlike the first 4 days where only 80 have been bowled and 82 at times. But 90 overs is sure. So 280, some team is going to win. There is no doubt about this. This game is set up in such a way some team is going to win. If India bats 90 overs, anything close to that, they'll get 280 or we'll get bowled out. So that if India needs to win, this man stands between Australia and victory.
Yeah. Before we go into the more contentious issues of the day, I thought it's only fair to say I thought Ravindra Jadeja bowled really well. I thought all the Indian bowlers, Umesh Yadav had a good spell. What they did by bowling well is they forced Australia, I think, to bat a little longer than they might have wanted to, unless of course Australia said, look, 130 overs is what we want to bowl them out. We'll bowl them out in 130 overs, though India played 131 in Sydney to save the game. But I thought Jadeja bowled really well using the rough to the two left-handers, and I thought India's bowlers generally carried themselves very well. But there was one issue. We're going to discuss that in the hotspot. Right, so many things to discuss about that Shubman Gill. I'm sure a lot of you watching this are waiting to know what other people think. It's inflamed passions everywhere. Mohammad Shami said afterwards that maybe being such a big final, you should have looked at it a little more carefully. Where did you stand on the two issues, the fingers underneath and keeping control of the catch?
For me, Harsha, I'll say it's not out. And why is the important part? Why
Yes.
I say that is, he's taken the catch, he's taken it cleanly. But
Yes.
after that, his hand, you feel like the ball has touched the ground for a second. And why I feel that is dubious, and as a third umpire, I get where he's coming from. He just had two fingers, just these two under the ball. And it's a 5.5 ounces ball, which is heavy with leather, obviously. And if you're telling me with just two fingers, no matter how big his fingers are, way bigger than mine for sure,
And mine-
if it is controlled the ball enough to just keep it above the ground, I'm finding it hard to believe. But having said all this, let's imagine we're the third umpire. There is no conclusive evidence to say that the ball has not touched the ground. Then you have to go the other way. I get where Richard Kettleborough is coming from, but as
Benefit of doubt? Benefit of doubt, if you don't know for sure, it goes to the batter.
yes, but if he is sure with the images that he has received at that point of time, the pictures that he's got, he is confident. Whenever it is a discretion of the umpire, it is very obvious the umpire decides it. Now we can keep debating left, right and center. There's nothing concrete for us to say. Yes, the pictures, some of them circulating in social media suggest that it's hit the ground. But you can't see the red leather hitting the ground. It's slightly black underneath, which is the shadow. So you're always guessing. The umpire can't guess. He will go with what he feels, and that's his gut feeling. And you got to go and you got to accept it.
Now, ever since the soft signal went away, earlier when there was a soft signal, you needed conclusive evidence to overturn. There's no soft signal now. The general consensus among international umpires is because of the foreshortening, because it's a two-dimensional image, the moment your fingers go underneath the ball, they tend to give it out. Now, the question is, as a frame was played on, was there a moment when the hand turned a little bit? There's a very interesting one. I'd like you to Google it as well. Kyle Jamieson is bowling to Tamim Iqbal. He catches the ball about 3 inches
Yes.
in the air, 3 inches clear, and as he's he's falling, the hand goes down like that. On-field umpire, soft signal gives it out. On review, they said he was not in control of the catch. So the debate here is, when is a person in control of the catch? If you just pick it up, are you in control? That was the whole debate
Again,
that Richard
Harsha,
Kettleborough had
the
to
key
solve.
word that you use and perfectly use is control. The control part of it is the discretion of the third umpire.
Yes.
So if you were the third umpire, you feel he wasn't in control, it's not out. If Richard Kettleborough feels he is in control of the ball, then it is out. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, that's what matters.
So that was the whole issue, because I think both of us are agreed. I think there's a little bit of doubt in some of your minds as well, but it seemed to all our eyes The catch was taken clean, but was he in control when later on it seems that some part of the ball is on the ground? So that is what it was. I thought Shubman Gill was batting really well. He's got reason to be disappointed.
Harsha,
He's looking
you
good.
keep putting me on the spot every day. I'm putting you on the spot. Is it out or is it not out?
If I was the third umpire, I'm saying I don't know for sure whether he's in control or no. If I'm 90% certain, I still give it in the batsman's favor because no one can be pronounced guilty until he is 100% guilty, because that benefit of doubt will always be there. You only imprison someone, you only pronounce someone guilty when you're 100% certain that they are guilty. That is why I would have gone not out. So that brings us to the next point, which is 280 to get. Two batsmen said, I know all of you are going to go back and say, you know what, Gaba last day, more than 300 will have. Our producer has sent me a very naughty note saying, at the end of day 4 on this very program on Cricbuzz Chatter, you said, I don't think India can get those runs in Brisbane, and India got those runs. So what do you have to say about today? We'll discuss all that as we go fast forward. Okay, fast forward. Every time I think of Gaba, I remember Vivek Razdan's word, "Toot gaya Gaba ka command," and I'm trying to think, okay, oval ka kya ho sakta hai, oval ki umeed or whatever. But the fact is, 280 is a lot of runs. India have Kohli, India have Rahane. Both are very good. I think you mentioned the point briefly, and that is absolutely essential. They have to go into lunch unbeaten for you to have a chance. Also, for the opposition now to start to get worried, Jadeja, Bharat, Thakur.
Now the pragmatic Harsha has all said it, but as an Indian fan, I think you should say they can't get it and just stick to what you said. And so
that-
maybe it doesn't happen. Please Harsha, just say it once.
Okay, so maybe since I've got this reputation on Twitter of jinxing it, maybe I'll do a reverse jinx and say I think Kohli will get out in the first over. That won't happen. But I want nothing more than to see a Virat Kohli special. I mean, there's a lot of you who have your thoughts. I have been a Kohli fan since the day I saw him in 2009, 2010. When in 2012 I saw him really come of age when he took on Malinga in Australia, the 2004 innings in Adelaide. He is looking so good. Now you'll say now you're jinxing him the other way, so just forget it. He's looking very good. For India,
I like how you're progressing with this. Continue, Harsha. I'm just observing it, completely enjoying this. It's like you are playing Pat Cummins tomorrow. You want to play shots, but then you're like, you know what, he's a good bowler. Let me just be careful. You're confused.
okay,
I like it.
I'll put some more numbers in perspective. India is scoring at 4 and over.
Yeah,
Throughout this game, India have scored at a faster clip than Australia.
correct.
So 280 in 90 overs in terms of run rate to get, I don't think is an overwhelming issue.
Now-
It will come down to wickets.
You know the weather, Harsha. They are saying there is a bit of rain. Will that hamper India?
They are saying some scattered thunderstorms, but already the forecast has improved a little bit. What I want from you as the expert, why is this track playing better?
Great one. Now, if I could answer this, pigs could fly. Because even the curator doesn't know. Because he said it's going to deteriorate, it's going to turn, it's going to bounce. Nasir Hussain said this. Ricky Ponting said this. Kumar Sangakkara said this. Now, these three cannot be sure. How can Dinesh Karthik be sure? I mean, nobody can predict a
But it's
pitch.
playing better.
It is.
Yeah.
It is played the best so far. And there is
Yeah.
not much turn, which vindicates the decision in many ways of probably not playing the spinner, which was spoken about for all the
Yeah.
4 days. More importantly, it's become very good for batting because when they get set, you get the feeling like it feels like they're playing the subcontinent, something against the grain you need to do as a batsman for you to get out because there's no brilliant ball as such. Now, having said that, I'm getting scared because tomorrow if something happens, they'll be like, why did you have to open your mouth? But
No.
I have to state the obvious
You have to
here.
state what it
The
is.
pitch is actually played the best on day 4. I didn't think I'd be saying this. All test matches deteriorate, get tougher for batting, but this one, for some strange reason, has gotten tougher for batting.
And that is something that we
Easier
saw in
for batting.
first class cricket for in games played at the Oval so far. But you have to respect the opposition every single time you play the game. Cummins, Boland, I think even Green has bowled well. Nathan Lyon will do a lot of bowling, and if Stark can get his rhythm, look, this is a world-class bowling attack you're up against, and they will have their moments too. So I think it's a tough ask for India to get 280, but I have changed my perception from saying it cannot be done to it is very difficult.
Good. I like it. I'm
What
enjoying
about
this.
you?
My heart says I would do anything for India. I'd be so happy. There's so many players in the dressing room who require it. But my mind says, the analytical cricket brain in me says it's not going to be possible, because we already saw a little bit of reverse swing through at the end of day's play. Pat Cummins holding the ball,
Yes.
bowling reverse swing.
Yes.
So Mitchell Stark is going to come into play a lot more, which will mean that he's going to bowl more overs. The more overs he bowls, he's going to create more rough, and Nathan Lyon will be in play even more against right-handers. So if you put all of that together, you got to also understand we got to 296 in the first inning, but also because we had a couple of LBW editions of no balls, a few catches
Yes,
dropped.
yes.
Otherwise, we
Don't
could
forget
have
that.
well been below 200, which is something we'll score and more to this innings. But I still think we'll fall short.
Okay, one last thing before we finish Cricbuzz Chatter today. But DK mentioned the rain. The forecast is okay, but there are some scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. The wind is already picking up. As you can see, our picture's moving a little bit. You're probably hearing the wind in the background. But should any play be lost, only then will the game go into the sixth day. It will not go into the sixth day to make up overs, because the over rate is low. It will only go in if overs cannot be made up. You can make up to an hour every day, and tomorrow's the last day. You cannot make up more than that much. And if it does rain more than that, you could come back for 12 minutes on the final day if the game is still alive. That's just to put things in perspective. We have a fabulous day in prospect. I personally didn't think it would come down to such an open game on the fifth day. We will, of course, be there with you with Cricbuzz Chatter. We'll remember what we said today and come back. But I think it's a wonderful test match, and they can play that first session. The cat will be among the pigeons. We'll see if that happens when we come back. See you tomorrow on Cricbuzz Channel.